Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network. I think this is the first time we're having an evening session on Saturday, and of course with a special guest in the house, Megan. Megan, thank you for joining us this evening.
Oh, thank you so much. I super appreciate it. What would you like me to talk about first?
Yeah, sure. I'm happy you just greet me. That's enough. So, guys, what we are doing now, this is a very important topic. As we all see, children are our greatest treasure, and so we just want to hear from Megan. What does she have in mind for children? Because one, she is a teacher, and secondly, she's done a few stuff here and there. So, Megan, we just say, why choose children? Because there's so many things people would like to do out there, but why is your interest on children?
Yes. Well, my interest started in terms of I grew up in a background of family members who were educators. So my father was a teacher and then a principal, and then actually after he retired, he was a bus driver. And my grandfather and my aunts and just I grew up in that education sort of family. So that's kind of how I kind of got started in the background of educating kids. And so I actually teach art. And so, that's my creativity is my thing. And I started teaching in 2001. So this is my 23rd year teaching in the public education system in the United States. And right now I'm at high school level. I've taught elementary for a short period of time, but I think across the board, kids really need direction, a lot of direction today, especially what I see. And, the nice thing is that I have a really global sort of, I love the global view. And a lot of kids in the United States don't really have that global view. They don't really understand what all's going on around the world. They're so consumed in their own problems, especially in that teenage years. So what I wanted to do was combine the idea of giving them a bigger perspective and how it could also help them with their own struggles, if that makes sense. So, we have a lot of kids. Obviously, we have students that are underprivileged in the world, but we also have students where I'm at that are underprivileged. And it's easy for people to get caught up in their own problems and forget that helping others is one of the ways to make your own mental health, better. So I got an ONPASSIVE about 3.5 years ago, and I just happened to come across William from Seeds Academy in Rwanda. He actually reached out to me, and I'm not sure what it was about William, but he really a lot of people message you, but William just kind of touched my heart in the way that he approached me. And so my initial ideas were pretty naive. I had never sent anything to Africa. I had never sent anything across, overseas. And the first year I thought, well, wouldn't it be awesome to get these kids connected to Williams students across the world and help them to see that they're not, um, kids in the United States don't have the concept for what people, are going through globally. They know that people in their own community struggle, but they don't understand that global picture. And that's one of the reasons why I did choose that activity, because I think it had a lot of meaning. It had a ton of meaning for the kids. At first, we just, I said, hey, let's do something for his students and let's connect with them. So we made bracelets. And like I said, my students are art students. We painted bags. We sent them. My idea, we were going to have handwritten notes and things like that. I just thought, wouldn't it be really cool for these children that William has to just think, okay, somebody in the United States took the time to do something for us. And I thought it would be meaningful for our kids as well. So that's kind of how I got started. Silly me.
I know.
Silly
Wow,
me.
that's very interesting because you just started, and I was like, oh, what's she saying? My oldest son, he likes art. He draws like all of his life.
Mhm.
He's always drawing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
this is very interesting. But so I saw that you donated a few stuff like animals and stuff. So what
Well,
is in mind? You think that that's going to change their lives and stuff, and
the
your first idea was connection and all of those.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So let's
the
talk a
first
bit about that, and then I'll still come back, please. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the first idea was just to connect. And I was silly because I thought I could send this little box of 6 pounds of bracelets. And they were quoting me like a plane ticket price to send it. Eventually I did get it sent, and it was great. It was awesome to see the connection with the kids. Unfortunately, my students were on summer break when it arrived, so I couldn't really give them that sort of end result. But the my I made up my mind the following year. I wanted to do this as kind of a yearly project. We I wanted to start it out every year, instead of putting the focus on ourselves, and to teach the kids, take the focus off yourself. Um, Stop having all the anxieties about what's going on around you, and who's wearing what, and who likes who, and all these silly things. And there's a bigger picture, and my hope is that students doing that will carry that on into their adulthood, and kind of move that forward. And it was supposed to be in the spirit of Oh Bless. Obviously, Oh Bless isn't a charity, and we all know that. But I thought, how can we have something that's going to be more meaningful? So the second year, we created artwork, and we auctioned it off. All of the students created their own piece of art. We put them up for auction in our community, which was the outpouring of like support was amazing to me, that these people were just so excited about it because they got to purchase art, and they knew it was going to go to a good cause. So the theme was goats, because I had seen that William was trying to get one goat per child, and the lesson to the kids was, okay, let's do something for them that will sustain, give them nourishment, not just a one-time connection. So that's what we did, and we auctioned them off, and we raised $2,000 and purchased, I believe it was 40 goats. William was able to purchase 40 goats. So, but the kids, my students, I've really been impressed with their reaction to it. And I've had parents that are like, my kid never will tell me what we do at school, but they came home and they think it's so cool that they were able to do something for someone in a different country. So my thought is, children with that are underprivileged, I mean, they're everywhere. It's just relative,
Right.
different degrees of underprivilege. And
Exactly.
I want the students to think, yes, we can help somebody in our community, but stop thinking of everything as a they, us sort of thing. Like that's them, that's over there. You know what I mean? I mean, we're a global community, and I don't
Right.
really think, yeah, I don't think it matters who you help, as long as you're doing something positive. Because one person can really impact a child. You know,
That's so true. Yeah.
all it takes is one adult who
Mm-hmm.
actually puts the time into them. And I mean, I've seen it over and over. Kids will say, this class is what changed my life, or
Right.
this teacher, this person.
Mm-hmm. There's something you say, because about this is already a big thing you are doing, because earlier on you said what you do, sometimes it helps like improve somebody's mental health. It would mean much to those who are in need, who are receiving, and even to yours. What do you think? I know you've mentioned already. I know one, it's like empowering the children within your community. What else do you think? What difference would it bring to the lives of children from your community, connecting with these other ones and helping them?
Oh, I think that is huge. I think the mental health, because mental health is one of the biggest issues I believe, in students today. And I don't know about other countries, but I see it in the United States. I mean, kids are anxious, they are depressed, they're dealing with so many different things. Um, and because they're always thinking about themselves and they're always thinking about their problems. And so I believe that just one of the best ways to break out of that cycle is just to do something for somebody else. I mean, it's so rewarding, to feel like you actually made a difference. So I think that is a big help. I think it helps them to see, even though maybe they have a problem, their problem is kind of small in
Right.
relationship to other people's
Yep.
problems, who don't have drinking water or just nourishment. Because obviously we want to educate kids and we want them to grow up and be productive adults. And one of the biggest issues is that you can't, a hungry child can't learn anything. Kids who come to school who are, they're in crisis
Right.
or fight or flight mode all of the time. And we have that too. We have kids who are in fight or flight. And so being educated is the last thing on their mind. And, um, so I think that's a benefit. I think it made them feel like, yes, I'm over here, but I can have
Mm-hmm.
an impact on someone across the globe. And they just
True.
feel like it's really cool that, that they didn't think they would ever have any connection with someone in Rwanda, and so
True.
yeah, and there's a lot of, I
The-
just feel like we have a lot of misconceptions
yeah.
about
True.
people in general. So I feel like this is a really good way to help them break out of their little stereotypes and their
Mm-hmm. True.
what they, yeah, what they think about.
One of the things, yeah, what sorry, I just want to interrupt a bit. One of the things that I'm thinking, I'm not sure if you've thought of this or you've noticed it yet, is that these other children from the other part of the world, Rwanda, the developing countries with their own kind of problems,
Mhm.
they've got a lot of potential. Are
Oh,
you
yes.
thinking that at some point you would need to, like, because if you go back to art and crafts, you want to dare them and see what they can also do to let these other children have a look, say, oh, this is what they do, this is going to go a long way. Are you considering things like that for the future, or what are your plans?
Well, I believe what I'm thinking about is how cool it's going to be. O Connect is, it's new. And one of the barriers is that school districts here are very, very, very regulated on what you can use in the school district. We have what's called SAPA, I believe, which all of our apps, all of our things that we use have to go through that regulation system. And because they don't realize how secure and how safe O Connect and all, how that's going to be, it's not yet, it's probably not yet accepted. But once it goes mainstream, I believe that, and they start to see the benefits, I believe it's going to be really cool to connect with, let's say you have a class that's foreign language, or, a linguist class. Wouldn't it be cool for kids to be able to actually speak to someone in the native speaking language and go back and forth and have them critique, how they're speaking? I just think things like that, because, initially when we used video conferencing, it was during the pandemic. But now that we're sort of past that and we don't use it as much on a daily basis, I think it should shift over to, the thing about ONPASSIVE is it's a community. And what makes that different? I'm sure people would say, well, how is that different from Google Meets or anything else? Well, from my perspective, um, because OnPassive is a global community and it is regulated, and you will have to go through O-Verify, and we will know who you are. You're not pulling someone out of a hat to connect your classroom to. You can develop a network of people all over the world that you would be able to connect with as far as different classes, and then it's different because of that. So I just think it would be cool for my students to connect with students in Rwanda, and to have them, go and show their native craft, their native artwork, and the skills that they do. And, it's just, the opportunities are really, there's a lot of opportunity.
Right.
World geography, you know?
Right. Yeah, you know, one thing I've realized, especially with the outburst of social media out there, you try to see that some of those stereotypes, people are trying to get away with them because they discover the truth and stuff. And so much can really happen. So I'll just like to say what are you planning, and do you plan to extend it to other places? Because like you were saying, it's just a matter of time. When All Connect goes viral, to the best of my knowledge, every institution would like to have one. I'm just trying to imagine you and your art, a child from Africa, a child from India, a child from Papua New Guinea, a child from America, and a child from Australia meeting on this platform, All
Yeah.
Connect, and showing what they can do, teaching the others what they do, how they do it, and stuff like that. They come together and exchange and all of these things, and things will definitely be different. I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm, yeah.
No, that's exactly what I envision. I mean, you can talk about another country. The kids can imagine what that other country's like or what the people are like. But if they have a face to face conversation with them, I think that just changes everything. I mean, you know, just the kids that I have, just their thoughts about, they're like, just the silly questions they would ask me about Williams students, and I'm like, you guys, they do normal things. They're just like, well, they don't have this or they don't do that. And I'm like, no, they listen to music. They do all this stuff. So I just think that what I'm saying is it will change the perspective of so many kids, and it's just going to help people. People are just people everywhere. And I think that's what it's going to help with. You know, it's gonna be beneficial for every subject, not just one subject. I mean, world geography. I mean, what better to learn about a country or learn about a place than to actually have someone from that place, talk to them live, ask them the questions that you want to ask them. You ever think, well, what do I want to know about France, or what do I want to know about these other countries?
Exactly.
Or
Yeah,
what have
because they have their own questions too to ask children
Yeah,
from this other part of the world, and
yes.
it can be really fun. So
Yeah.
guys, while we're sharing this, would like to know your perspective. So children, they are our greatest treasure. We just want to do everything possible to make every child feel comfortable and feel different and stuff. So let's know what you think in addition to what Megan is telling us here. So yeah, Megan, one of the things, respect to every teacher. I've been there before. I've been a teacher for a while before, wandering to other stuff. One thing, especially the part of the world where I come from, teachers and kind of little to nothing, but the passion with which they come, and do all of these things, they train all of the children to whatever level. So would you consider, like in your niche, would you consider empowering even teachers, because they work for little or nothing and they do so much with passion? So what would empowering a teacher mean to you, both here in the Western world and of course back in the developing countries?
I mean, empowering a teacher would obviously, um, giving them more autonomy would definitely be, a benefit. But I think connecting community like for example, just me being able to connect the local community to the project that I did with the goats. I think having the community connected more helps them to see that what we're doing, we're not just babysitting, we're not just, having people respect the profession more. um, Obviously, the pay is a big one of the big drawbacks. But yes, they are very underpaid. But giving teachers options like O Connect, allowing them to, things like that, allowing them to do these cool things. And I am very fortunate. The district that I teach in, they're very supportive of most things, honestly, and it's a really great community. But I just think that when ONPASSIVE is out to the world and they really see what it is, and they realize that it is pure, the people who are in it are pure at heart and the intentions are positive. I think they're gonna, it's a no-brainer. It's just going to take time for them to, because it is so regulated. So that is yeah, that's going to be cool. And it's funny that you said that, empowering teachers, because I have a student that is an amazing student and she wants to become an art teacher. And I've had her for the last 5 years. And she's just, I'm hoping, she's the sweetest gal and she's so motivated and energetic. And I'm really hoping that she will take some of the things, for example, she's been right there with me. She's actually the person who made the goat video, the video, like of all of the children and the artwork. She made the video for me. And I just know that she's going to be an amazing teacher. And so I hope that she takes what I've done and she takes it forward and uses, adds in some blessings for others. Like, you know what I mean? Because we've always done great projects, but for now, this is the chance. This is the first time I've been able to like stop and make this a yearly thing where I'm going to do a project that is all about blessing others with your talents, which I call it art for global good, because, these kids, they couldn't believe that someone would buy their artwork, and even better than that, somebody got a cool piece of artwork. Even Gina Leva, she bought one of the goats.
Cool. Oh.
She did, and I shipped
Yeah.
it to her, so I super appreciate that. But somebody got a cool piece of artwork, and the money went towards helping children and helping them get nourishment. And it's a trickle effect. So I hope that what I'm teaching, the things I'm doing, are going to trickle down to the kids who want to become educators, and they'll, I think Caitlin will do projects like this, because that's what we need. We just need people who will pay it forward, as far as being willing to bless others and think outside of yourself. And we have so many people, that are willing to do that. We just need the resources, and I think that's going to come.
Yeah, the good news too is we need resources, and that's why we're here, because that's what the CEO promises us.
Yes.
100% time on financial freedom, and so that's resources. Like we had this chat with Red again yesterday and Jeffrey. We were talking about, it's not only going to be about giving you money, but time too. Because if you're an art teacher or an art student, you want to be part of this uh, mission, this project. Sure, you would be welcome, because people also need your services.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we have money, but we need some people to come up with help in another way, like
Yeah.
share your talent and knowledge and skills and stuff like that. It goes a long way, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the cool thing about ONPASSIVE is, I think the global aspect of it is really, really, really cool, because this is the first time even though I've one of my passions is, I collect textiles from all over the world. I'm really into textiles, and I have things from all over the world. But, before I didn't have any connections with people from those parts of the world until now. And so ONPASSIVE is like a holding tank of resources when it comes to people. I don't know of any other company that has that diversity and also the safety, that you feel within the community. You don't feel like you don't know who you're talking to or what, it's a really, so for an educator, that's a really big blessing. With ONET, they could get on, make a club. I want to connect with educators from these parts of the world, or, I want to connect with community members, and then kind of, have this resource, this, list of people. But, yeah, I think ONPASSIVE is really wonderful because of that. I also think it's great because you don't have to be interested in IT or AI or any of
True.
that, because I think that's,
Exactly.
people on the outside are like, oh, it's what is ONPASSIVE? It's an AI IT company. It is, but it's going to benefit any aspect of life and every single type of business. So, you don't have to be into technology to have, ONPASSIVE help you, because, that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing. So there's just a lot of things. I'm
Sure.
just really, I could talk all day about it, but
I
I'm
know
rambling.
when you're passionate about something, you can go on and on and
Yeah.
on. You know.
Yeah.
So the good thing too, when you look at the security of ONPASSIVE, it has many faces. Look at from the fact that sometimes you would want to maybe connect with somebody just by sending emails, searching up and stuff. But now, if I want to do something in Papua New Guinea, I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 names to call. Say, I
Yes.
want to do this. And then they hold you by the hand and you feel
Yes.
safe, either going there or connecting somebody with them because you know them already through this
Right.
movement and the family that we have here together. I
Right.
think it's just a blessing.
And I mean, what other company? I think that's why people who are on the outside don't really, they don't get it, because it sounds a little corny. It sounds a little generic, but that's because they're not in it and they don't understand that. What other company do you have access to the CEO and you know what I mean? That's not normal, because we aren't normal. It's not a normal company. And I think that's why there's so much, maybe so much resistance, because unfortunately, I mean, let's be honest, people, governments and the powers that be, they don't like that it's leveling the playing field. They don't want that. So I just, there's so many really cool aspects to ONPASSIVE that if people would just, get in, you're not obligated to do anything. You can just get in, you can join webinars, you can talk to
Right?
people, you know, you don't have to buy
Exactly.
anything.
Sure. I know because like there are people like here, Sister Grace is talking about ONPASSIVE will empower the girl child in most countries who are left out for
Yes.
lack of school fees, while the boy child, fees are paid first and stuff like that. People watch this from a distance and they feel so they're burdened. Oh my God, I wish I could help. But then, like Megan is
Yes.
saying, here is that platform that empowers you. You have all the time, you have all the finances you need, you are able to take care of your own personal needs and your family and your community, and then still be able to stretch as far as you would like to. So this is something that if you're that kind of a person who loves to help the needy, whatever age, whatever thing that lies in your heart, the opportunity lies here in our ecosystem ONPASSIVE. So, Megan, I
Absolutely.
think I'll just give you time now to make your last remarks. Just take your time, use as much time as you want. Maybe you have another passion, anything at all you want to share about ONPASSIVE and stuff. You just deliver
Yeah.
it to us.
You just made me think, and that is exactly why that's the reason why I did the project, is because I don't have the resources to help all the people that I want to help. I mean, maybe someday I will have those resources. I hope that that definitely happens. But I just thought, how can I connect what I do to this global community and harness the power of the student talents, the community's generosity, and we were able to purchase 40 goats. So what I'm saying is I would love to purchase 40 goats, but I wasn't able to do that. So if you're just creative and you use the things that you're passionate about, take some time out of what you do normally and use a little portion of it as a fundraiser, as something, to do something for someone else. So, we don't do fundraisers all year in my classroom, but doing something is better than doing nothing. And I think that's the whole kind of the whole heart of ONPASSIVE, is just thinking of others, just like you think of yourself. Everybody needs to be taken care of. Everybody's going to need their own, needs met. We can't help others when we're struggling. And ONPASSIVE is going to take care of those issues and help us to put us in a place where, okay, my needs are met. I'm not in fight or flight anymore. Now I can focus on my community, whether that's somebody next door, whether that's when you go through the drive-through and you just want to pay for someone, pay for everybody in line, and, just how cool to do, to be able to do those sorts of things, and how cool to be able to set that example for future generations, that's what we should be doing.
Exactly. Guys, I just appreciate your contributions and everything. Somebody like Martin Pierre says, great topic, guys. I would definitely like to work alongside you guys to help make the difference in this world, because this is one of my greatest passions. Yes, that's why we're here, though. So Megan would come here, like many times, because as when things progress with ONPASSIVE, she comes back and would remind ourselves and say, this is where we are, this is where we want to start from. Because the good thing is that it just needs for you to conceive the idea, bring it to table, and it becomes a community thing, it becomes a family thing. Yeah, because like me, sometimes me and my friend Sister Fumi, we would say, you just play with $1 and see it turn into 1 million, and then you say it's fun, let's play it again. So we are just, let's just say we're 1 million, everybody drops $1. How much is that? It's fun.
Yeah.
You just watch $1 each turn into 1 million, and it
Yeah.
changes lives out there. You are like, that game is fun, let's play it again. We
Yeah.
keep playing and doing stuff, and so that
Yeah.
makes a difference. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I keep asking. I just asked William. I said, "Send me pictures of the goats." Because the community members that bought the art, they love to see that,
Right.
and that's the difference, though, that it makes to have. Rather than, and I'm not saying you shouldn't donate to fundraisers or to charities that you don't have a personal connection with, because you should, if that's on your heart. But the cool thing about this is that when you develop connections with people all over the world, you can follow what your efforts did and how, you can see that. He sends me pictures saying, oh, the goats have produced babies. So, it's moving forward and it's going to continue. So ONPASSIVE gives you that opportunity to really see your efforts and to stay intact, in touch with those people. So I think everybody should, whatever your passion is, maybe try to come up with something that you can maybe create a fundraiser out of, whatever it is you do. I mean, if you're a musician, do a fundraising concert.
Sing for a goat, sing just to get a goat for a child in Rwanda.
Right.
That's very true. It can be fun, right? It can be really fun.
We could have a goat, like when the goats, they call or whatever they do, their sound. We could have a contest in ONPASSIVE. I want to see Marty and Chris do their best goat impression.
I think we need to start learning how to do some of those impressions, so that we use it to raise money. When we do that, people pay us so that we get more and get more people more empowered. So it's quite fun. And guys, I know we are all ready. So if you're planning anything, If you have any of such humanitarian stuff at heart, let's discuss this. Let's just spend time. What I'm thinking now is let's spend time planning what we shall be doing, and give Ash and his team time to go on doing what they are doing and get ready and meet us where we are, so that we just get going, right? So instead
Absolutely.
of us keep peeping and say, what is Ash doing? What are
Yeah.
the other guys doing? Let's plan. Let's plan, because our planning, when you say this is what I have in mind, so many people don't know yet. Because Megan, I always think that we have young people too involved in ONPASSIVE. We have 18
Yes.
year olds, 21 year olds. Maybe they're planning to get that Tesla car and stuff. It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
However, they want to learn how to be responsible first, so that
Yeah.
even their Tesla, they will drive it responsibly and preserve their lives.
Right.
We can do a lot, I think.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And we are going to do a lot. I think the ONPASSIVE community is going to
Yeah.
make a huge difference.
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Wow. It's been such a pleasure having you, Megan, and I really wish to have you back again really soon. Thank you so much
I
for your time and
appreciate it so
contribution.
much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much. Thank
Thank
you
you.
guys for supporting us with wonderful comments, and of course, see you soon. Yeah, before we go though, we have our meeting tomorrow, the Heroes webinar, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so the time for Europe and England has changed to 7 p.m. No, not Europe though, just say so 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time would be 7 p.m. here in the UK and 8 p.m. in mainland Europe. So make sure you come on time. You come on time, and let's have heroes. If you have a few questions, you have a new topic for us to discuss, we are waiting for you tomorrow. Thank you, Megan. Thank
Thank
you,
you
guys,
so
and see you
much.
soon. Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye.